Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Inspiring Careers. My name is Dan Johnson, and I have my guest today with me. His name is James Battisti, and he has recently won the Gold Award for the Pharma Times International Clinical Trial Administrator of the Year. That makes him the best in the world. Good afternoon, James. How are you doing?
Good afternoon. I'm very well, thank you, Dan. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on and being a guest on my show. If you were speaking to another clinical trial administrator today in your seat, how would you tell them to prepare for a successful day?
Okay, I'd say it's always, obviously, I think with any job, to start by being punctual. If you make sure you're on time and prepared to start your day when you get in, and you don't have to mess around with anything with running in late from after a bus and getting a bit stressed, and if you can walk in nice and relaxed after having or whatever, you without going in too much traffic or any of that problem, that always helps. Also to be very organized, so maybe not just in the morning, but maybe the afternoon before you leave the day before. Make sure you know what's coming tomorrow. Obviously you never know, because you're going to have things come in overnight from the other time zones, but as best you can have your day planned out in your head when you leave the office, and then you can forget about it. You don't have to stress when you go home, and you can come in the morning and you know it's all there. And then what I always do when I first come in is spend about 10-20 minutes checking all my important emails, which you can quickly do by sorting them by subject specific things you know that need to be urgent. And then you can set up your day, making sure you've got the priorities rather than dealing with each thing as it comes in. You know when it comes in, then you can just, even if an email comes in within the next 2 hours, I wouldn't even deal with it. I'd make sure if someone wanted to contact me, I'd have them call me if it's desperately urgent.
Yeah.
And then they know that I'm working through what I already have planned during that time, and I don't have to stress myself and get all mixed up with what you need to do and what needs to be done first. So nothing ever falls through the cracks, essentially.
I've got to ask, what's the best piece of career advice you've received then? You've given out some great little examples of the successful things that you do that set you apart. But what's the best advice that you've received so far?
I'd say about last year, I was getting quite excited about, especially after I'd won the Silver Award in the Pharma Times. I was quite excited for my career progression. But then I got some advice saying if you just keep your head down and you always say yes as a first option. So if someone says, can you do this? Can you help with this? If you just always have that attitude of saying yes, even if you think, oh, I can't do that, I don't know how to, or I don't have time to, you can always find a way to do it. So I think if you just keep yourself always taking on as many new responsibilities, especially when you're new to an industry, maybe if you're 20 years down, you're in a better position to say, okay, I don't need to take that on. But the more experience you can get in the short amount of time, then everything else, all the other positive aspects will follow later. They will just become naturally. Any promotions, any money raises, any new exciting trips or whatever will come in the benefits. They will always come in the long term if you not even make a sacrifice, if you just have a positive attitude in the short term.
What do you see as the number one thing holding other people back who do your job from becoming successful?
I'm not sure if I can talk for everyone, but I think this is just a general, obviously because I've only had a couple of years in the industry myself, but I think in talking general about people working for multinational companies in office roles, something that I notice a lot is a strong reticence for change. I mean, a lot of the time you hear people complaining and moaning when something gets changed in a big organization which affects them slightly. Maybe they have to learn a new operating system, or they have to change the way they have to do their current job. But I think there's a very closed-minded attitude that, oh, it's affecting me in this slightly negative way, not really realizing that these decisions are often made for a reason by people with lots of experience and have gone through a big process to make these big sweeping changes in a company. So rather than embracing these changes and thinking, okay, this is going to be a positive thing, I could personally learn something new and this will be good for the company, they think, oh, I've got to go through this. And also another thing I've noticed quite a fair bit, not necessarily in my role, but in quite a lot of roles, is quite a lot of self-importance people give to their position, as in they say, oh, if I can't delegate this to someone else, I need to take this home, I need to work 24 hours a day to make sure that, rather than saying, no, I need to stop my day at when I should stop it, and then let someone else take the responsibility and help me out, and then it will work both ways. When they have to finish their day, you can help them out with you starting your day as well. So I think this idea that, oh, if I don't do it, no one will. I think that's a big misnomer in the corporate world, if I'm honest.
James, what is your the final piece of advice you have for other clinical trial administrators out there?
I would say turn up on time, relax, enjoy what you're doing, and just do it to your best of your ability. Because if you don't enjoy it, then what's the point, really? You spend a lot of your time in your work, don't you? Like working, sleeping takes up probably more than half your time of your life. So if you're not enjoying your work, then I think you just need to take another attitude and just not moan about it and just try and do your best to enjoy it.
James, that's been absolutely wonderful having you a guest today. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Again, for anyone watching, looking forward to bringing you the next show of Inspiring Careers, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you very much. Cheers, James.
Thank you, Dan.